we should just get to some Apple updates because there's some new stuff. The cat's out the bag. We are testing the new stuff now. Some people have published their reviews already. Ours are still in the works by the time this episode comes out, but it's true. I've been testing the iPhone 15 Pro for about, by the time you hear this, about a week, almost a week and a half, 2 weeks now? Almost like a week and a half, I think.
Yeah.
Because it was the beginning of last week, and now it's 2 weeks by the time it comes out.
By the time this comes out, it's a week and a half.
It was
right?
it was Wednesday. Yeah, a week and a half.
Yeah.
It was Wednesday.
Anyway,
Tuesday.
so that's
That was
out.
a long
Also,
week.
Apple Watch Series 9. I'm wearing the pink one for you video listeners. You can, video viewers, you can see it. For your audio listeners, I'll just tell you I'm wearing a pink watch right now.
Nice.
Sick band.
It's going well. Yeah, I've got the recycled band.
The Nike, what do they call that? The Nike Sport Band, right?
Sport band, yeah. And it's, as we mentioned last time, made up of a bunch of flecks of a bunch of old recycled sport bands, which is pretty cool. So no two are alike. They're all unique. I'm not over the fact that it's a completely carbon neutral product. And I know we talked about this last time, but I just want to stress that's the entire life cycle of the product. So emissions, electricity, energy, materials, construction, packaging, shipping, and then all of the electricity used during the lifetime of the ownership of the device. All of it is what they're claiming is carbon neutral.
I need to know how they're doing this.
That's so much.
It's got to be mostly credits, right?
Well, there are some things that are genuinely easier, like instead of using new aluminum, they can use recycled aluminum. And there's a bunch of pieces that they showed me, from the housing of the vibration motor to the outside of this thing, the buttons. It's all like recycled aluminum. That all makes sense. But then it's just like, how do you control all of the trucks that it gets delivered on? How do you control all of the Apple stores that you sell it in that keep the lights on 24/7? Like, how do you control the grid that I'm plugging my wall brick into that I'm getting electricity from when I charge it? It's an enormous, complex puzzle to like guarantee that it's a carbon neutral product for everyone.
Yeah, it's
crazy.
Funny because you can't create energy, right? So the idea that if you're charging the device through the life cycle of the product, it's like Apple couldn't create energy out of nothing.
Yeah.
But they have some sort of credit that they're counting it against. And they had a very funny note, too, where they were like, we managed to fit 25% more Apple Watches on each shipment to each Apple store, which means we're using less emissions. And like, that's true. That's great. They're also just reducing shipping costs.
Yeah, made the box smaller.
You know,
make it
everybody wins.
still make
Win-win,
it smaller.
I guess.
It's still too big.
Yeah.
I looked at it.
still
It could
too
be
big.
half the size of
You're
what
right.
it is already.
You're 100% right.
Yeah. But either way, we're testing them. I have some early thoughts on the iPhone 15 and 15 Pro, as you can tell.
Yeah, it's a lot of changes.
They
Yeah.
are very similar
Too
to the
early.
previous phones, the main updates being USB-C. I did have a moment. So I'm currently test driving a car for autofocus, and I'm going to shoot that entire video on the iPhone 15, but it's the Polestar 2. And the Polestar 2 has a little, when it got dropped off, it has a little cable in it. It's a little wired CarPlay connector, because this car has CarPlay.
Oh, no.
And I had that moment where I went to plug in the lightning cable into the iPhone, and it didn't work, and I was confused for a second, and I was like, oh, right.
Is it hardwired in?
No, I can unplug it, but I needed my own USB-C cable.
Okay.
So already in the car when they dropped it off was the last guy had a USB-C to lightning cable. He just left it there. And I went to go plug in the iPhone, and it didn't work, and I was like, I need more USB-C cables.
The amount of people that are about to be really confused when they bought the new phone, they ask their friend if they can borrow their charger, and it doesn't work, and they just don't know why, is about to be very high.
No, right? Like,
It's going to happen.
no.
It's
I
gonna
can't.
happen.
A non-zero amount of people are going to think that something's wrong.
I can finally help my Apple friends.
That's true.
Look at that. People who come over and say, do you have a charger? I can
you're
now
like,
say,
in
I
fact.
do.
Remember how we were trashing on the adapter, though? Mostly because it's $30.
Yeah,
which
that's
is,
the
Yeah,
reason.
yeah,
to
That is
trash on
why
it.
we were trashing on it. But there is an endless amount of like Ubers with lightning cables sticking out of them, and like accessories with lightning cables. The lightning cables are everywhere. And so kind of like we did with 30-pin to lightning, we're going to have to go through a bit of a reckoning again with, all right, there's a wave of new iPhones out there, and none of them can use this port.
Yeah.
So we better make sure we have USB Type-C. I guess they already hopefully also have USB Type-C, maybe, but like there's a lot of lightning cables out in the world.
At least 30-pin only existed for the first iPhone and the 3G and the 3GS, and then they switched to Lightning on the 4, right?
Is that right? Okay.
I think so. So
yeah,
like,
not
that was only like 3 models.
Yeah.
This has been many models.
Yeah, 4 had...
No,
30
yeah.
Did it?
4 did
I'm,
have 30 pin.
I'm confident now.
I remember seeing it. Yeah, it fits the silhouette,
As
but maybe 4S or 5
As the resident expert of the iPhone 4, 30 pin.
from trivia.
You're probably
mastermind
right.
Himself. But
Yeah.
but it's not a decade though.
You're
is
right.
your
Wow.
point. So like
Crazy.
1, 2, 3, and 4 versus 4 to 14. That's a lot of lightning cables.
The 4S switched to Lightning?
So somewhere in there.
No.
Okay.
Was it the 5?
Must have been.
It was the beautifully designed iPhone 5.
Yeah.
see
Anyway,
that.
I don't want to take up all your time.
So it's 10 generations.
I'm just fact checking. Yes, iPhone 5.
Okay.
Switch to
So
Lightning.
5 through 15. That's a lot of lightning cables out in the world.
Yeah.
And all I'm saying is people
More
are
than
gonna
10
need,
generations because they had the S's.
Yeah, so they're either going to need
lot.
a bunch of new lightning cable, a bunch of new USB-C cables, or a bunch of adapters.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah. And they're
So
going
that's
to
out.
make a lot of money on those adapters.
You've been on the Max.
yeah.
Any camera observations with that 5X? Because I know I'm on the regular Pro,
Yeah.
and I still have a 3X, and it's just early observations before I do my side-by-side on computer testing. Very similar camera
Yeah.
to last year.
I think this is going to be fairly divisive because you go from a 1X main lens and then you have that 2X like basically sensor level crop that is not necessarily cropping. It's just kind of using the center pixels. And then from there all the way to 5X, you're basically doing a digital zoom of sorts.
Yeah.
So we can maybe throw this in the video. I have this example where I took a 4.9X shot and then a 5X shot, and the difference in noise is crazy.
Yeah. So that's, and I need to like make a graphic for this, but from 0.5x to 2x, they're the same.
Optical quality, yeah.
They're the same as each other.
Yeah.
But once you get to 3x, 3 to
Or
5,
anything over 2 on this phone.
so I'm just comparing these to each other.
Okay.
From 3 to 5, this will perform better.
Yes.
Then as soon as you get to 5, that will perform better.
Yes.
So if you do a lot of deeper zooms, then anything past 5, you'll want the Max.
Uh-huh.
But if you don't zoom into 5x all the time, then you might find that the Max is actually a worse one to get.
Yeah. I did notice that once you go past 5, though, the quality actually falls apart fairly quickly.
Oh, interesting.
Like I'm at 15x right now, and this doesn't look good.
It's not great.
Yeah, Adam looks terrible.
Whereas if you look at any...
He looks so good.
Adam looks amazing generally, but he's very noisy in this photo.
What do you mean?
Oh, that was funny.
Well played.
Yeah, any Android phone, not any Android phone, but many Android phones look much better at this than this at this zoom range. So the 5X lens looks pretty good. I've been doing a lot of testing around Manhattan with the 5X lens, and it is nice for like when you want to shoot photos of things really far away.
Yeah.
Something that was really interesting that they talked in the keynote, they were like, iPhone is a very social camera, so we want it to hit these things. And I think by that they mean you take a lot of pictures of people and you take a lot of pictures of food and you take a lot of pictures of pets.
Oh,
and I think that's what they're saying that most users...
Only cats and dogs.
Only cats and dogs, not raccoons. I think they were saying that's mostly what people use their phones for. And so 5X is like, is that still a social lens?
I feel like
that's
5X is my kids doing something on the playground or playing soccer or something like that. That 5X sounds like a great optical zoom or a great zoom level for like I'm sitting in the stands of an event that's my kid is part of,
Yeah.
or a school concert or something like that.
The funny thing is all the examples that they showed for the 5X lens were like sports photography, like people swimming really fast, people
Yeah, that's
running
true.
really fast.
They were. And they were like cropped way in. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It is interesting. I think ultimately we expect the 5X to come to the Pro next year.
Yeah.
I think that's like
I think that'll
the
happen.
classic thing that they do.
But I think Samsung does a good job where they have
Well, they just have another
ultra wide,
camera.
wide, 3X and 10X.
yeah. So they're like, look, if you want 3X, we got you. But if you want deep zoom, we also got you.
I'm just really interested as if Apple is ever going to bring a fourth lens.
It would make sense because the camera cutout's already square. Why not add another lens into it? Like, I understand Apple not wanting to do the Samsung thing of like 5 and then have to put another lens under the already like silhouette they've made, but the silhouette is there to have another camera.
Well, it's funny because the idea of having 4 lenses on an iPhone feels really silly, but also when the first 3-camera iPhone came out, we made all those memes about it being like the fryer thing, the stovetop. Yeah,
we used to have one.
So
what's one more?
We'll get used to it. But
yeah,
battery life so far on the Pros. On the Max, for me, has been like kind of subpar for a Max. It gets me barely over 24 hours, which is like cool, but the previous 2 Maxes got me like almost 3 days.
Yeah.
So I feel like that A17 Pro is just generally using more power.
This is something I think we're converging on because I've also tried to withhold judgment on battery until I'm at least a week in. So I'm 8 days in now. And I have not had great days. I've had a lot of normal days and I've had a couple bad days.
Yeah.
I have not had the normal couple of great days also.
Yeah.
So I am starting to think, it is A17 Pro being more power hungry and being able to drop faster. Standby time's still good.
Standby time's really good.
But it is a more powerful chip that can eat power faster.
Yeah. Like I went to bed at like 26%. I woke up and it was at 25%.
You went to bed at 26%?
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
And you didn't plug it in?
No, on purpose.
Oh,
I wanted to get
on purpose.
alarm.
Okay.
Testing.
Oh,
Testing.
Is your phone your alarm?
Yeah.
You are bold.
That's
sir.
bold.
Well, I also
man.
wake up naturally
Anything like
before my alarm.
under 20%, I'm not going to risk that. But 25, 26.
Well, the standby
alright.
time's good. So I went to bed with 26%, woke up at 25. So that was like, okay, I slept like 6.5, 7 hours and it dropped 1%. But then from the time that I woke up to the time that I got to work, which is like 2.5 hours total, it had dropped to 10% battery.
Yeah.
And that was like me using it most of that time. But
I'm on the Pro right now. I just did a trip where it was on the wireless charger the entire time. It's 3 p.m. I'm at 44%. That's not as good as it usually is.
that's not
Wait, it was on the wireless
great.
charger in your car?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There and back?
Yeah.
And did you fill it up overnight?
Yeah. I started with 100 today.
Is that what you took video with?
Yeah. So taking video is going to burn through. Like I said, you're burning
it's a little
through
tough.
fast.
Yeah.
So I know I'm burning through a little bit faster than normal, but I'm not having the great days where it's like, oh, I didn't do a bunch of video. I just had like a couple navigation things in the morning and then a normal day, and I end the day with 70%. Haven't had that day yet. So that's something we'll keep an eye on.
My Zen phone's still killing it. But
I bet.
Still,
Yeah,
that
man.
thing rules. I love this thing so much.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to just like throw that shot in there.
I'm really glad I can get through 24 hours. It's just that compared to the previous Pro Maxes that were getting me literally almost 3 days,
Yeah.
I think that the A17 Pro chip is just really power hungry while it's active.
Yeah.
So
That titanium looks so good.
it
too.
does look pretty good.
It's so
It
good.
is
Actually, that
definitely.
blue, like I would love that
blue's
blue.
actually not bad.
I really like it, but just like that looks so good. The black looks really good. They killed it with the Pro colors
This
this
is
year.
the first year I didn't order a black phone. I ordered a titanium one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I ordered a titanium 15 Pro.
Are you going to switch to matte titanium everything?
No.
New shirt,
I'm
limited
starting
shirt.
To think I should have gotten the Max for battery, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll get there.
A day of battery.
Because I like the cement dbrand skin. It kind of looks like that. Anyway, okay. On to a couple other things. Apple also, we wanted to talk about back glass repairs getting cheaper because they mentioned in the keynote, they have like an actual line in the keynote where they said the word repairability on stage, which like never happens, but they really did it. And they went and designed the chassis to have a more easily replaceable back glass. Now we see those new back glass replacement prices. They've gone from $550 on iPhone 12, 13, and 14 Pro Max down to $199 on 15 Pro Max.
$300 price drop is like
$500.
I can't believe it was $550
It cost $500.
You could get a Zen phone.
replace your back glass with a Zen phone.
You could replace your back glass or get a Zen phone.
I'd rather duct tape my phone shut.
Which is what a lot of people do. You see those things everywhere.
Just put the case over it
Yeah.
and never take it off again. Yeah.
Honestly, yeah. Yeah, would you rather spend $500 or just put a case on it?
Put a case,
Put a
on,
case
it.
on it for sure.
100%. That's like
I mean-
a $13 fix. Yeah. Wow.
But yeah, apparently the new chassis is easier to take the glass off the back and replace it. $200 is still pretty expensive for a Pro Max, but $350 less is a crazy drop.
Yeah.
I don't know what that's saying. If just before it was way too expensive.
Yeah,
but it was definitely.
Yep.
Jeez.
But I'm glad to see some sort of improvement. It's one of those Apple things where you're like, still bad, but thank you for not as bad.
Yeah.
You know?
Just many Apple things.
Yeah.
Other thing we have is just remember how they announced new iCloud storage levels?
Yeah.
We got pricing for that. 6 terabytes is $29.99 a month, and 12 terabytes is $60 a month.
Did they talk about having family plans on the bigger
I did
options?
not see that yet.
Okay. 'Cause I
But to
was
be
looking for
honest,
that.
I didn't look that hard for it.
Yeah.
I was just mostly upset about here that like 2 terabytes is $9.99 a month. So that like I would assume if you are going to jump to 12 terabytes, they should give you somewhat of a discount. Like
Yeah.
$60 a month is so much. Make it $50 a
Yeah.
month. This is the exact same as just paying for the 2 terabyte.
Yeah.
It's actually more expensive by
Is-
3 cents.
Is it-
Oh, you're right.
$9.99
Oh, yeah.
times 3 is $29.97.
You're right.
And 6 terabytes is $29.99.
Oh, that's so funny.
Wow.
So it's actually more expensive to
And
buy
then-
the 6 terabyte.
That's weird.
Interesting.
That's very funny.
I'm just saying, as someone who has basically no blood family, but many different technical families, I would love to be in a family plan with this.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
12 terabytes.
Like people wondered if we held back anything we said at the Apple event. The only thing we did was David talking about his family in front of them to
Wait,
see
it
who
goes-
his
I think I
family
said
was.
grandma's ashes at
It
least.
again. Hold on. The 6 terabyte is $29.99.
And then it's
the
just
12 terabyte is also double but more expensive because it's $59.99 instead of $59.98.
so what is that? 6 cents more expensive?
It's than
I'm
the 2
terrible at
terabyte. But if you just doubled up the 6 terabyte and got two $29.99s, that would supposed to be $59.98. But it's $59.99. Come on, Apple.
That
Weird.
extra cent, man.
Very strange. Okay, well, that's out there.
Yeah.
I think that's about all we have for Apple stuff. Stay
Yes.
tuned for the reviews. The reviews
Yeah.
are in the works. We've got a lot to say about these phones and also the watch and the double tap. Underrated, man. I just do this all day now.
All day.
Yeah. And Ellis started using an Apple Watch every day.
No, I didn't.
Interesting.
It's not true. I started using it because I wanted to walkie-talkie everyone.
It
when
was
we were,
fun.
like, shooting stuff.
Yeah, that was fun.
Because in Ohio, Vin and Brandon were walkie-talking, and I was like, wow, that's the most essential tool on a shoot. And so I wore it for the trip, and then I got home, and then now I'm still wearing it. And
It's crazy how
I
that
know
happens.
I've got this beautiful watch box in my apartment that now just goes unopened. It's honestly a travesty.
Yeah.
Is the walkie-talkie an ecosystem feature? I think it is.
Kind of.
I believe so.
I mean, I had to
It's
wear
one of
2
those-
watches at the event so that I could walkie-talkie them.
You can only walkie-talkie on an
You
Apple
didn't
Watch.
have to do anything. You chose to wear
No,
2
it was
watches.
epic because
no,
it was
not.
I was slacking you guys and you weren't replying, and I just go, Psh, Adam, this is David over, and he's like,
Then you
David,
should have
this is
just
Adam, give
worn
him back
the
to you.
one watch.
no
Oh
way.
wait, you're not wearing your watch right now.
I'm wearing my Casio 1200 for the thousands of people that have asked me what this watch is.
I was
It's a
trying to.
modified Casio 1200 with a steel case and some filters.
America's favorite game show. Should there be an Alexa in it? Andrew, fishing rod. Alexa in it?
Easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marquez, leaf blower.
No.
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 David, we've got
My answer is just yes for everything, dude. I
really
love it.
even a canoe.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's no Wi-Fi on the lake. Don't know how you're going to use that. Andrew, back to you.
It doesn't matter if it has conversational AI. It can talk to my canoe
I wonder if it has the
on device.
on
it's
device
on device.
conversational AI.
Yeah.
Andrew, we're looking at a subscribe button with Alexa built in.
Oof. That's the one that might. I don't know.
Yeah. I want to subscribe from my couch.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. What about a like button?
Oh.
What do you
Am I
guys think, what do you think of
still
this?
I
With
think
Alexa
potentially
built in?
more
I think you should
interesting.
just click it. I don't understand. You should just.
Well, this is
Well-
the conversation of like human input versus like AI input, right? Like.
And where that becomes really interesting is when we bring up the comment section with Alexa built in.
Commenting with Alexa.
Ask your Alexa what you should comment on this video.
But then every comment is going to start with "Hey Alexa."
You're right. I think the subscribe button and the like button are where we should really be focusing our efforts.
Yeah, please don't start every comment with "Hey Alexa."
They're gonna do that.
Please don't do that.